Hi everyone, welcome to Life Tips by Ning. Today is a video of me sharing my own personal journey of learning BaZi and other astrology tools, talking about why do they matter, how they work, what's the point of learning it, what's the benefit of learning them. So overall, I would say BaZi or any other like Jodish, Western astrology, whatever, they're all different tools following the basic mechanic of, I think it's based on the logic that we human beings are part of nature and the universe. So all of this external energy change will influence us. And those are different tools that can kind of predict and tell the changing pattern. So we can say, oh, because of this energy change influence on our mindset, under different mindset, we make different decisions in life, which will kind of impact the final outcome of what we experience in life. So that's the underneath foundational logic for a lot of those astrology tools and why it works. But even though you invest a lot of time and energy figuring out how to use those tools, the next question is, what's the point? Why does it matter? For me personally, I think there's three major takeaways. The first is that the day-to-day, it just helps me make decisions. So I know in a very early video, I shared the concept of heaven, man, and earth, and each category accounts for 1/3 for our life. All of this astrology stuff belong to the heaven category. But the point is free will, hard working, work ethics under this man category is just equally important. So for example, if we want to make an investment decision like, should I invest in real estate or stock market? What's the percentage of asset allocation I should have, right? That's a very common question. I would say for me, the decision is definitely primarily coming from the man's area, meaning you need to have solid foundational financial investment knowledge and understanding, right? 101, asset allocation diversification. Don't focus on one investment venue, which is too much high risk. So that's the starting point. Then you can use all this heaven track, like all those astrology tools as a supplemental reference point. In this BaZi case, you can see the two indicators for either steady investment or riskier investment. Which one has a better indication in your chart? Let's say the result of reading is you're actually better off doing low risk investment. So that's just a supplemental information. That might mean I might do 60-40 between real estate and stock. But that doesn't mean I will put 100% of money all in real estate, because that's waiting too much on the heavenly clue versus, and it deviates from the man common sense financial knowledge. So that's just like a really day-to-day example of showing you how those astrology tools play a supplemental role in our life, just the day-to-day decision making. But elevated to the higher level, I would say there are only a few critical decisions we can make in life, like what major we pick at school, what type of career we want to choose, who we want to marry, right? There are only a few decisions for most people. Astrology is a very good supplemental tool for us to make those decisions. For example, like a very biased viewpoint for Asian parents is like the typical Asian parents only think there's one mode of success for their kids, like study hard, go to a good college, find a stable job like a lawyer or doctor, engineer, whatever, right? That's the so-called successful life. But the truth is everyone has their own ingrained talent. Every person is made differently. It doesn't make any sense to squeeze all of our kids into one mode. If they get lucky, if that's their natural talent, of course they're gonna be more competitive and successful. But you can use those astrology tools to find your kids their unique talent, and you can spend more energy on building up their talent. It just make your chance of success so much higher. So in the BaZi system, you can, let's say, I'm just using it as an example. If the daily master is fairly strong, like in the balanced zone, and the number one energy is the suppressor energy, meaning this person is actually able to tolerate a lot of stress in life. They won't crumble. And another clue from the BaZi might be the element I grow, which represents my talent, how quick I can learn new skills. That one is fairly strong and it plays a favorable role in the chart. Combining those two clues, I would actually recommend this person to be a competitive athlete, because not only athletes need to have a lot of grit, tolerate strong repetition day to day, a lot of hard work, but also a lot of sports are very technique driven. You need to have a smart mind to translate a lot of those intricate techniques into body movements. So that needs the strong element I support and grow to make it happen. So that's just an example to see how can you assess a person's talent and help them grow in that direction. Without those astrology tools, we might have a good intent of helping the kid, but you might actually end up doing them more damage than good by picking the wrong path for them. And last but not least, I think it's more at the psychological level. All of this astrology tools makes me more calm, meaning it makes me way calm in terms of dealing with different currents in life, good or bad. Like in my younger years, if something, I get really excited and happy when something good happens, and I get extremely sad and emotional when something bad happens. But after learning all of this BaZi astrology tools, you have a different take on life. What I mean by that is, let's say using that astrology to their 12 houses, right? Representing different aspects of our life, like money, career, family, different relationships, and mental health. And the number of stars in the universe is the same for everybody. It's about how it's allocated in your chart. Some people might have a very even distribution of good and bad stars in each house. The other person might have a very strong concentration of good stars in a few houses, but the trade-off is there are also high concentration of bad stars in the other houses. Which one is good or bad? Everyone's different, and there's no perfect life patterns out there. All you need to do is enjoy what you've got and benefit of your own astrology chart. Because in that first evenly distributed example, that translates into just a normal life, right? I'm like middle upper class money wise, maybe have a stable and good career, I have a good family relationship. Versus the second one, it could be popular people, for example, Elon Musk. He might have a very strong concentration of awesome stars in his career, money, or accomplishment, those houses. But the price he pays is there are a lot of bad stars in the family relationship with his kids, wife, or his parents, or his dad, right? That's a trade-off. So there's no point of being envious or jealous of other people's life. They might be actually jealous of you because you never know what people are suffering in silence. You see the visible stuff, but we don't see the invisible, the ugly stuff other people experiencing. So my point is, learning astrology give you a different point of view. You can just appreciate what your life is about, what your focus, what your meaning is by reading the chart. That's all it is, and enjoy what you've got. There's no point of kind of being sucked into other people's success or failure and being influenced by it. And another philosophical takeaway is the so-called good and bad fate. They're all interconnected. It's not in isolation. because starting next week, I'll start the I Ching theory. I was reading a biography of the I Ching master in Japan, Takashimi. In his 30s, he actually, due to some business partnership, illegal activity, he ended up spending 7 years in prison. That's definitely like a bad time of his life. But if you think about it in a different way, without this concentrated lock-in time to research I Ching, he will never become the master he was. He will probably be distracted by the day-to-day like work or other distractions. So the so-called bad period of his life happened for a reason. Without it, he wouldn't be reaching that master status in like later in his life. So it's all interconnected. It's a so-called there's yin in the yang and the yang in the yin. It's never like pureness. It's a constant stage of kind of churning, and like yin grows until it reaches the prime state, and then it will start to decline, while yang is growing gradually until yang is reaching the prime stage and then it's fading away. That's the law of how I Ching works. That's the same thing how astrology or the so-called fate works. That's why like when we're experiencing so-called good life, like you're doing great financially, that's not, no, it won't last forever for anyone. Otherwise, it's gonna violate the law of the universe. Everybody goes through this constant change. That's why it's really important to save for the future. You never know when the rainy day comes. Well, I guess you do know if you're good at reading the astrology trending, but that's not the point. The point is mentality-wise, you know that's the rule of change, so you can be more prepared, even though you're in the so-called good time. In the contrary, if you are experiencing very hard times in your life, don't give up, right? Because we know it happened for a reason. It's actually preparing for a bright future. So just hang in tight. And that just gives you a different perspective of how to cope with what we experience in life. It gives you a calmer mindset. So that's a very beneficial thing from learning astrology. So that's what I want to share with you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye.